Hey everyone, my name is Marcus, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create and further develop a flow using the new Copilot for Power Automate. We're going to also be talking about the new Copilot for Power Automate Maker Studio, all the new features that come with it, and also what it's currently missing. Let's get started.
Okay, let's run.
So, now I'm a person who believes that learning by doing is the best way to learn. Therefore, in this tutorial, we are going to start off by implementing a super simple use case. When a document is uploaded to a SharePoint library, specifically this library, write a message about it in this Teams channel, Sales West. So to get started, head over to the Power Automate Maker Studio. If you don't know how to find it, just go ahead and visit make.powerautomate.com and make sure that you're logged in to your Microsoft 365 environment. You can also find the Power Automate Maker Studio here in this Microsoft 365 menu. You have it right here. Also make sure that Copilot is turned on in your environment. To turn Copilot on, go ahead and visit the Admin Center for the Power Platform. Click on Environments, select your environment, go ahead and click on Settings, Product, Features, and then make sure that Copilot is turned on. The first one is the one that you want. The second one is for Canvas apps and model-driven apps. So to start off, you can go ahead and input a description of the flow that you like Power Automate to create. Here you have an example that you should start off with a trigger plus the action, and it will create the flow for you automatically. You also have a few suggestions down here that you can read. When a document is uploaded to a SharePoint library, submit a message to a Teams channel. Generate. And here you can see a suggested flow from Copilot. You can see here what kind of trigger and actions that it's suggesting. When a file is created, properties only, post a message in a chat or a channel. And this is correct. So we go ahead and click on Next. Here it's going to make sure that our connection is solid, which it is. We are logged in and we have a connection to SharePoint and Teams. And then we're going to go ahead and click on Create a Flow. And it's done. Here we have the new Power Automate Maker experience with Copilot. As you can see, it's quite different compared to the normal or the classic Power Automate Maker experience. You can see here that we can easily move around our flow. We can zoom in and zoom out. We can go to flow. We can search for specific actions and the trigger, and then go to the trigger here, for example, or the action in this case. And we also have a minimap feature here. And then on the left, we have our Copilot. Here we can see our prompt, our message, and then we can see here a box or an answer from Copilot that suggests what we can do next. So we can either ask it to add more actions, can ask it to explain what the flow does, we can ask it to add a condition, and so on. And then here you can see that it's also telling us that to get the flow ready, we need to configure or to finish setting up the following actions and triggers. And then it is actually the trigger that we have and the action that we have. So we will go ahead and do that. We'll click on the trigger here. And you can see here that it's requiring us to enter a site address. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and select our site, which is the Copilot test. And then a library name, which in this case is documents, as you can see here. And that's it. It's done. You can also see here that we have a small green check mark telling us that this one is good to go. Now only one left. So you can see here that we're going to post as a user, post in. Where are we going to post? Well, we are going to post in a channel. Which team? US Sales and Sales West is the name of the channel. and then the message that it's going to post. Hello, a new document called, and then we can also enter the document name dynamically here by selecting the property feature. And then entering here, we're looking for name or file name. We have it right here. So, hello, a new document called the document name has been uploaded by a user. We can also enter the user. And then lastly, here is a link to the document so that the person can actually open up the document. So in this case, also the user will of course be the person's display name that's going to be added dynamically, and then the link will also be added dynamically. And then we can just go ahead and search for link and then link to item. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and save the flow. The flow is successfully saved. And then we can go ahead and test the flow. We're going to do a manual test. So we're going to start off by uploading a document here. The document is called Sales Manager Job Announcement. And then we'll go back to the flow. And as we can see here, the flow ran correctly. If we go to Sales West, we can see here that there was a message that was created by me, of course. Hello, a new document called Sales Manager Job Announcement has been uploaded by Marcus Leichenhold. This is correct. You can find the document using this link and then a link to the document. Perfect. Now, what if we would like to further develop our flow using Copilot? Well, we can in fact easily do that. If we go back to Power Automate and then click on Edit, let's go ahead and add in approval functionality so that when a document is uploaded, it posts a message to the channel and then it triggers an approval request. This approval request will not really do anything other than trigger an actual approval request, but afterwards we can actually make it so that if the document has been approved, then it can move it to the approved folder here. And if a document was rejected in the approval request, then it will move it to the rejected folder. Let's see how that works. We go back to Power Automate. And then in the Copilot section here, we will ask it to create an approval request. As you can see here, it did add an approval request, but it actually added it after when a file is created. And that is because we were not specific enough. So if we click on undo here to undo this, revert, and copy what we wrote, and then here we will ask it to add it after posting a message in the chat. And this is correct. It did add it after the chat. Now, if we go ahead and configure this, we can see here that we have an error message. I'm not really sure why we keep getting this error message when you create an approval request, but this can easily be fixed simply by removing this part and then adding the correct part, which in our case is the first respond, approve, reject. And then you can see here all the fields that we need to fill in. It is also showing us all the other fields here, by the way, but we don't have to see all of those. We can ignore those for now. And we're going to go ahead and fill in these important fields. So the title assigned to details and item to link. These two being the actual required ones. A new approval request for the document. And assigned to, well, it can actually be assigned to me. That's fine. So we will go ahead and copy my email address from here. and leave it like that. And in the details section, we can go ahead and add some details about what this is all about, which is a new document has arrived. This is what the document is called. We'll go ahead and add the name of the document dynamically here as well. So the name of the document and who uploaded it. And that would be created by display name. And then here we have a specific field in this case for the link to the document. Search for link, linked item. That's it. And now it's good to go. We'll go ahead and save the flow. And then we will start testing this flow. We will do a manual test. We go back to our document library, and then we're going to upload this document. Why Power Apps for Teams is a game changer is the name of the document. And then we will go back to Teams. In this case, we don't have to wait here. We're just going to go back to Teams here and wait for the approval request and the message to come, which usually takes a couple of seconds. And here we can see that the message came in, and also the approval request came in, well, twice for some reason. But we only need one of them. A new approval request for the document. So here we have the name of the document and the person who uploaded it, and then also a link to the document, and we can either approve it or reject it. Now, since we did not add the logic for approve or reject, it won't matter what we do here with approve or reject. We can click on approve. Nothing's really going to happen to the document. But now we're going to go ahead and add this functionality. So we go back to the flow and then we click on edit. And then here we will talk to Copilot. Add a condition after the approval process. If the approval is approved, it sounds weird, but this is how you do it. Move the document to the document library called approved. If it's rejected, move it to the document library called rejected. Submit. And as you can see here, it did create a condition for us with a true or false, which is correct. But it placed the move file action after the condition instead of inside true or false, which is incorrect. So if you are using Copilot or are planning to deploy Copilot to your company for your people to use it, just make sure that they have some form of Power Automate training in order to understand how Power Automate works before using Copilot. Otherwise, they will not know when Copilot has done a mistake, and they will just sit there wondering why their flow is not working correctly. But to fix our problem here, we can simply go ahead and grab move file and then move it to true. You can see it's quite easy. We click on move file. We can see here that Copilot test is correct. The file to move, the body ID, that is correct. Pilot test is the destination site address, that is the same site. The destination folder is approved, except the folder is actually called approved with a capital letter. So in this case, we need to take approved with a capital letter. That could have been my mistake, by the way, because I wrote approved with a small letter. And that's it for the true part. Now we need to make the exact same thing for the false part. And usually you would be able to just simply copy or duplicate this action, but that is one of the kind of many things that are currently missing in Copilot. Some features and a bunch of actions that you can do or create in the normal Power Automate Maker Studio that are currently missing here in Copilot. But Microsoft has said that all of those and more are going to be coming in the future. They are working on integrating them, so just keep an eye out for them. We will go ahead and simply add a new action. Here you'll also be able to see the new action interface. We'll search for SharePoint in our case to make it easy for us. See more. And then the one we're looking for is move file. So the current site address, that would be Copilot test. File to move. We will go ahead and add the ID of the item here. Destination site address, Copilot test. Destination folder, in this case, it's going to be rejected since it's false. If another file is there already, replace. And that's it. We'll go ahead and save this flow. And then we're going to go ahead and test this flow. So the first step here is that we go back to our document library and then we go ahead and upload a new document here. We will take a sales manager job announcement document. We will replace it since there's one there already. And then we will go to Teams. First off, we're going to make sure that the message is posted here because that is part of the flow. So first a message, and then we're going to get the approval request, and then we're going to either approve or reject, and then the file should be moving. And here we can see our message. A new document called job announcement has been uploaded by me. You can see here also the link, and then when we go to the approval flow, here we can see the approval request. Also linked to the document, sales manager job announcement, and then we can either approve it or reject it. In this case, we're going to go ahead and reject it. So we can see here that it's been rejected. And then when we go to the document library, we can see that the file has now been moved to rejected. And that will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like these. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.